The Keshari diplomatic vessel Whisper of Reason hung in the designated neutral zone, its bioluminescent hull pulsing with anxiety patterns that Jennifer could read even through the viewport. She floated in the observation deck of the Human Research Station, her magnetic boots keeping her anchored to the floor as she watched the alien ship maintain its precise distance, exactly 10,000 kilometers, not a meter closer. "They're scared," she said, not turning from the window. Kevin drifted up beside her, pushing off from the corridor entrance with practiced ease. His datapad glowed with streams of xenolinguistic data, translation matrices updating in real time as the Keshari transmitted their formal greetings for the 7th time in an hour. "Terrified," he corrected. "Look at the chromatic variance in their hull emissions. That's not diplomatic protocol. That's a fear response hardwired into their biology." Jennifer finally turned to face him. After 3 years working together on Outpost Jericho, she could read Kevin's expressions as easily as the Keshari's bioluminescence. The slight furrow in his brow, the way his fingers tapped against the datapad's edge, he was fascinated and troubled in equal measure. "They sent us another data packet," Kevin continued, swiping through the information. It's their survival guide for interacting with humans." "Their what?" "Apparently, after first contact with the Terran expansion fleet, every species in the local cluster has been compiling these. The Keshari version is the most comprehensive." He pulled up a holographic display, and text shimmered between them in translated standard. "Rule 1. Never provoke humans. Rule 2. There is no Rule 2. Jennifer felt something cold settle in her stomach. "Show me the rest." The document was extensive, 412 pages of meticulously researched data compiled from observations, intercepted communications, and what the Keshari called survival case studies. As Jennifer and Kevin read through it, the nature of humanity's reputation across the stars became horrifyingly clear. The Keshari had documented the incident at Proxima Station, where a human merchant vessel had been impounded over a tariff dispute. The station's VRIN administrators had considered the matter closed. They hadn't accounted for the fact that the merchant captain had a brother in the Terran Marines. 3 weeks later, the entire VRIN trade consortium had restructured their tariff system. The Keshari notes emphasized, "Humans maintain kinship bonds across vast distances and will mobilize disproportionate resources to address perceived injustices against their kin groups." There was an entire chapter on human persistence hunting, not the ancient Earth practice, but its modern manifestation in diplomacy and warfare. The Keshari cited the Helios campaign, where human forces had pursued a pirate fleet for 18 months across 4 sectors, expending resources that exceeded the value of the stolen cargo by a factor of 40. The pirates had eventually surrendered, not from military defeat, but from psychological exhaustion. The Keshari conclusion: humans do not calculate cost-benefit in standard ways. They will pursue objectives past the point of logical abandonment. "This is how they see us," Jennifer whispered, scrolling through entries about human pattern recognition, endurance capabilities, and what the Keshari termed pack bonding aberrations. The human tendency to form emotional attachments to other species, inanimate objects, and even abstract concepts, then defend those attachments with violence if necessary. Kevin had gone pale. "There's a section on you specifically." "What?" He expanded a subsection labeled Case Study 7, Dr. Jennifer Yao, xenobiologist. The Keshari had been watching her for months, documenting her interactions with the small colony of silicon-based life forms she'd discovered on Jericho's 3rd moon. They'd noted how she'd named each of the crystalline entities, how she'd filed formal complaints when mining surveys threatened their habitat, how she'd threatened to make the surveyors regret every decision that led them to this moment if they didn't reroute. The Keshari assessment read, "Subject demonstrates typical human pack bonding to non-sentient xenofauna. Recommend avoiding any actions that could harm crystalline entities. as Dr. Yao has access to station defense systems and probable support from other humans who will back her position regardless of economic impact. They think I'm a threat, Jennifer said, something between laughter and horror catching in her throat. They think I'd actually. Would you? Kevin asked quietly. Jennifer opened her mouth to deny it, then stopped. She thought about the silicon entities, about their slow, beautiful growth patterns, about the way they resonated with harmonic frequencies she'd spent months learning to interpret. She thought about the mining corporation's profit margins versus the existence of a completely unique form of life. Maybe, she admitted. Kevin nodded slowly. That's what terrifies them, not our weapons or our ships or our technology. It's that they can't predict what will make us bare our teeth. The Keshari are logical. They understand resource allocation, risk assessment, diplomatic protocols. But they've watched humans go to war over flags and honor and pets and ideas. They've seen us adopt alien orphans and fight to protect creatures we met 5 minutes ago. They've watched us pursue vendettas across decades and forgive ancient enemies in an instant. He gestured to the Keshari ship, still maintaining its fearful distance. They don't know how to interface with that kind of irrationality. Jennifer looked back at the glowing vessel. She initiated a communication request, watching as the Keshari's bioluminescence flickered through what she now recognized as panic colors. Dr. Yao, the Keshari ambassador's translated voice came through, carefully neutral. How may we serve? You can start, Jennifer said. By coming closer, we don't bite. There was a long pause. The translation software marked it as extended deliberation period. Finally, our research suggests otherwise, Dr. Yao. Humans have a documented history of biting, particularly when pack bonds are threatened or during what you term emotional responses. Despite everything, Jennifer laughed. Okay, fair, but we're not going to bite you. Come to docking port 3. Kevin and I will meet you there. No weapons, no guards, just conversation. May I inquire, are we being threatened? No, Kevin interjected, his voice gentle. You're being invited to tea. It's a human social custom. It means we want to talk with you as equals, not as subjects of study. Another long pause. We do not have a protocol for this scenario. Then we'll write one together, Jennifer said. New rule. When humans invite you to tea, they're trying to be friendly. Refusing might actually be what provokes us. She could almost hear the frantic consultation happening aboard the Keshari vessel. Finally, slowly, the whisper of reason began to move closer. As Jennifer and Kevin made their way to the docking port, he asked, Do you think they'll ever really understand us? Jennifer considered the question, thinking about the survival guide, about the fear and fascination woven through every entry. I don't know, but maybe that's not what matters. Maybe what matters is that they're willing to try, even though we scare them. That takes a kind of courage. Or desperation, Kevin said. We are expanding into their space. Then we'd better make sure, Jennifer said, that we're worth getting to know despite the fear. The docking port cycled open and 3 Keshari emerged, their carapaces shifting through colors Jennifer was learning to interpret. Nervousness, curiosity, cautious hope. She smiled carefully without teeth and extended her hand in greeting. Welcome to Outpost Jericho. We've been looking forward to meeting you properly. The lead Keshari's biology rippled with surprise. In their survival guide, they documented human expressions, human body language, human unpredictability. But they hadn't documented this, the simple, revolutionary act of humans choosing to be gentle. Perhaps, Jennifer thought as the Keshari cautiously touched her extended hand with a forklaw, they would need to write an addendum to their guide. Rule 3. Sometimes, humans surprise you in good ways. But only sometimes.